Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey.
I'm Tim, and what's cooking?
Here's what's cooking today. We're going to be making vegan creamy corn pasta. Interesting, right?
Interesting,
Yes. Not something we've ever made before. Works very well with the Starch solution, the diet that I'm on if you've been following, where you eat whole food, high carbs, right? And very low fat. And you lose weight. I've lost about 25 pounds on it, so it's working well.
I think when I saw corn being shredded as the sauce, it was like, I'm like, we gotta make this. I didn't even need to see the rest of the video. I'm like, we gotta do this.
So I watched this on a friend of ours. I want to say friend. We've been internet friends. We've never actually met, but we follow them. They follow us. We chat, right? Okay. Wine and dine with Jeff. But Jeff is an amazing cook. He knows a lot about wine. He made this recipe. He makes vegan recipes sometimes, and he asked that I make this, and I showed it to Tim, and Tim ran out and got the ingredients. It was all about it. So we're going to give it a shot here. I think it's going to turn out absolutely delicious. We haven't tried it yet, but...
I mean, we've got red, white, and green going on. This is Italian flag, you know? So it's kind of funny. But...
My grandmother will be very happy. My grandma, yeah. All right, so ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, our first item on the recipe is chopped tomato. So it calls for a pint of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. Just cut them up as I have here. And then the next step is to salt them. You want to, I guess, sweat the moisture out. So this is Himalayan salt, so it's giving us some minerals. So after we've salted, stirred, I'm going to set that aside. Now our second item on the directions says to deal with the corn. I cut the corn in half. And so we've got 4 in here that I'm going to grate, but this just makes it easier to grate. I don't know if you can see it, but it's already kind of this mushy, pasty look. Okay, so I just grated this little cob, half a cob. We need to save these because we're actually going to make a broth with it.
Yeah, a stock with that, so don't throw the cobs away. All right, so we're going to grate the rest of the corn here, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm like wearing it.
You're getting splattered? Yeah.
This is on my feet, on my face.
So now you know why I'm wearing an apron, right? So.
And you can see the cobs are just stacking up there, and they're going to be ready to put in the water here in a minute. And you can see here the corn is just really milky and creamy. That's the great thing about this recipe that Jeff talks about on his YouTube channel, that you're not having to throw in heavy cream or butter or any of that pineapple stuff, right? Like, it's just the corn. It's a whole food plant-based recipe. And you kind of see here how much cream and liquid came off from the corn after it was all grated. All right, so next we're going to take the corn cobs. I'm going to throw them into a pot that's cooking on the stove. The water's heating up.
Okay, a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt, and we're going to just boil them for 30 minutes.
30 minutes boil. We're making a stock.
We're just making a stock,
yep.
Right? In Jeff's recipe, he uses oil to saute the shallots and the garlic. We're not going to do that because the Starch solution doesn't allow that, and we're an oil-free channel.
So we're going to add shallots, half a cup.
The thing with water sauteing is the water will evaporate really fast, so you got to keep putting the water in and make sure it doesn't burn.
Jeff is saying Fresno chilies. We've just cut up with some of what we have.
Right, we're not in California. We're not
a little red, a little green. Okay. Yeah. And then some minced garlic. This is 3 cloves.
All right, let me have that stir thing right there.
All yours.
All right, and we just want to kind of keep this moving. So what we're doing here is we're just sweating the veggies, right? Just so they get there, release the juices, and they get translucent, right? So they're soft. So that'll take about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes, yeah. And you want to just make sure you always have enough water. You don't want to have too much in there because it'll change the temperature of the pan, right? But you don't want it to evaporate because then it'll burn. And this is an induction cooktop. It'll burn really fast.
All right, you can see this pot is now boiling. Let's lower the temperature just a little bit because we want this to be going on for 30 minutes. So.
The onions are translucent now, and I think we're ready for the next step. So what's that?
Sounds good. Now add the grated creamy corn to the cooked shallots, peppers. Now it says you want to cook this for 5 minutes altogether.
Take this, yep, in the sink there. All right, guys, so I'm just kind of mixing this in, getting it combined. It's already really creamy.
All right, so it's been about 3 to 5 minutes that we've been cooking and stirring constantly here so it doesn't brown. Right. So I've got a cup and a half of that corn on the cob stock that we made. So we're going to add this to it. Okay. It says now to cook down 15 minutes. till it traces. And traces is like where it slowly fills in after you go like this. It's going to be really thick. All right, so we talked about having some homemade pasta, and I measured out 12 ounces.
So you guys, if you haven't seen the pasta maker video, that pasta maker that showed up on our door, right, from Amazon, it's actually really cool, and it just, you put the ingredients in, it makes the pasta and pushes it right out. There's an unboxing video, and then there's a video where we actually make spaghetti with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so check out those two videos.
So there's two different ones going on.
So,
all right,
let me see what we have
let's
here.
do an update. So I'm going to trail.
Oh, yeah.
See how it doesn't come all the way? All right, it's ready. So I just put pasta in.
Oh, you put the pasta in already?
Yep, for 3 minutes.
You want the pasta to be al dente, right? Because it'll cook a little bit in here?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, coming in.
Pasta?
Pasta.
All right.
All right, so I cooked it al dente just because it's going to probably continue to cook in this.
Take over this.
I got tongs for you to. We're ready.
We'll use the tongs with the plastic ends on it, with the rubber ends, the silicone.
Okay, and we're ready for tomatoes.
All right.
Get tossing at the same time. All that juice. While you're mixing, I'm going to put in some basil here.
All right.
We've saved some for plating, as a topping, of course, but
This homemade pasta is hearty. I mean, look at this.
we made fettuccine noodles, so a little thicker than normal.
All right, so I think it's time to plate this up and give this a shot, right?
Yep. So we'll be right back with plating.
Jeff, we're trying your meal. Let's see what it tastes like. It's really rich tasting, right?
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be a lot of corn flavor, but with the pasta,
Yeah,
it's tomato sauce,
Right.
maybe the tomato juice.
it's not over corny.
Yeah, it's okay. So the dish is not corny, but it is.
It
it's
looks
the,
like
the flavor's there.
It looks like when you go to eat it, it looks really creamy, like it's stuffed with coconut milk or something, right? And it's not. We used whole food pasta, so this is a whole food plant-based dish.
Yeah, and having the basil and that clean flavor really comes through. So sometimes I'm like, we can skip the basil, I think. But no, it really it's another clean layer on top of the tomatoes and the corn.
Absolutely. This is absolutely delicious. When Jeff made this, he told me like a week ahead. He was like, I'm making a vegan dish next week and I want you to make it.
Jeff, thank you for sharing this with the world.
Absolutely. So check out Jeff's channel, Wine and Dine with Jeff. I absolutely love the name. I love the channel. I'll put a link in below on YouTube. He is amazing, and he will tell you everything you've ever wanted to know about wine, which is half of the whole video, right? We don't do wine, so we don't know anything about it. But leave that to the experts.
Yeah.
That's Jeff. That's our show for today, guys. Vegan creamy corn pasta.
Who knew?
It was absolutely delicious. If you like what you see, please hit that like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? Plus, it's compatible with the Starch solution, right? If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Little bell will appear. Hit the bell. You'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday. Please leave a comment. What do you think about creamy corn pasta? I'm telling you, give this a try before you judge it. It is absolutely delicious. It's creamy, and it's whole food plant-based. I mean, what else could you want, right?
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.